It's funny how we often overlook the simplest solutions to our biggest problems. I mean, think about it. We're living in a world that's constantly buzzing with noise, distractions, and a never-ending to-do list. We're so busy chasing after success, validation, and happiness that we often forget to just pause, breathe, and be present. I used to be one of those people, caught in the whirlwind of life, feeling overwhelmed and anxious. But then, something miraculous happened. I discovered the power of a 5-minute daily meditation, and let me tell you, it changed everything. Now I know what you might be thinking. 5 minutes? That's it? How can such a short amount of time make any difference at all? But hear me out. When I first started, I was skeptical too. I thought meditation was just for monks sitting cross-legged on a mountain, or for those who could afford to spend hours in silence. But I was desperate for a change. My mind was racing all the time, filled with worries about the future, regrets about the past, and a constant chatter that just wouldn't quit. I decided to give it a shot, and honestly, it was one of the best decisions I ever made. The first time I sat down to meditate, it felt awkward. I didn't know what to do. Should I close my eyes? Focus on my breathing? Count my breaths? I remember sitting there, glancing at the clock every few seconds, thinking, is it 5 minutes yet? But slowly, I began to settle into it. I focused on my breath, feeling the air flow in and out of my body. I noticed the sensations in my body, the warmth of the sun on my skin, the gentle hum of the world around me. And then, something magical happened. My thoughts began to quiet. It was like a storm that had finally calmed down, leaving behind a peaceful stillness. As the days turned into weeks, I started to notice some incredible changes. First, my anxiety began to fade. I was no longer constantly on edge, worrying about what was going to happen next. Instead, I found myself feeling more grounded, more centered. I could tackle challenges with a clearer mind, and I began to approach problems with a sense of calm that I had never experienced before. I remember one particularly stressful day at work, where everything seemed to be going wrong. Instead of spiraling into panic, I took a moment to breathe, to remember the peace I had cultivated during my meditation sessions. I approached the situation with a level head, and I was amazed at how much more effective I was. But it wasn't just my anxiety that transformed. My relationships began to improve too. I found myself being more present with the people I cared about. I wasn't just physically there. I was emotionally engaged. I listened more, reacted less, and truly connected with those around me. Friends and family noticed the change. They commented on how I seemed more patient, more understanding. It was as if I had shifted from being a reactive participant in my life to a more intentional one. And that made all the difference. Now, I get it. You might be thinking, that sounds great, but I don't have time for meditation. I'm too busy. Kauski. Netie. Trust me, I've been there. But here's the thing. Everyone has 5 minutes. We spend so much time scrolling through social media or binge-watching shows. If you can carve out just 5 minutes a day, you can create a space for yourself to reset and recharge. It's not about the length of time, it's about the intention behind it. You don't need to be a meditation expert or have a special space. Just find a quiet corner, sit comfortably, and give yourself permission to breathe. And let's talk about the science behind it for a moment. Studies have shown that even short bursts of meditation can lead to significant improvements in mental health. It can reduce stress, enhance focus, and even improve your overall well-being. It's like giving your brain a mini vacation every day. You're not just sitting in silence, you're actively training your mind to be more resilient, more adaptable, and more aware. And who doesn't want that? I remember one day, after a particularly hectic week, I sat down to meditate, and I was flooded with thoughts. It felt chaotic, and I struggled to find that stillness I had grown accustomed to. But instead of getting frustrated, I reminded myself that this was part of the process. Meditation isn't about achieving perfection, it's about embracing the moment, whatever it may bring. Some days will be easier than others, and that's okay. The key is to show up for yourself, even when it feels tough. As I continued my practice, I started to explore different techniques. Guided meditations, mindfulness exercises, and even loving-kindness practices became part of my routine. Each brought its own unique benefits, and I found joy in experimenting with what worked best for me. I realized that meditation isn't a one-size-fits-all approach. It's a personal journey, and the beauty lies in discovering what resonates with you. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or just out of balance, I encourage you to give it a try. Start small, just 5 minutes a day. You might be surprised at how transformative it can be. It's not about changing who you are. It's about enhancing your experience of life. You'll find that those 5 minutes can become a cherished part of your day, a moment of peace amid the chaos. In the end, it's all about creating space for yourself. Life is a beautiful mess, and we need to learn how to navigate it with grace. Meditation taught me that it's okay to pause, to breathe, and to simply be. And if I can find that peace in the midst of life's storms, so can you. So take a deep breath, give it a shot, and watch as those 5 minutes work their magic in your life. You deserve it.